Slumdog Millionaire film directed by Danny Boyle, produced by Christian Coulson, written by Simon Beaufoy, and co-directed in India by Loveleen Tandon. It is adapted from the 2005 novel of the same name by Indian author and diplomat Vikas Swarup. Set and filmed in India, Slumdog Millionaire tells the story of a young man from the Juhu slums of Mumbai who competes in the Indian version of the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Kaun Banega Crorepati, Hindi, and answers all the questions correctly, exceeding everyone's expectations and raising the suspicions of the host and police officers. After premiering at the Telluride Film Festival and later screening at the Toronto International Film Festival and the London Film Festival, Slumdog Millionaire was initially distributed by Fox Searchlight Pictures, and Warner Brothers Pictures released it in limited release in North America on November 12, 2008. The film was released internationally on January 9, 2009 in the United Kingdom and January 23, 2009 in the United States. In India, it premiered in Mumbai on January 22, 2009. Slumdog Millionaire was nominated for 10 Academy Awards in 2009 and won 8, the most of any film that year, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Film Editing, Best Sound Mixing, Best Cinematography, Best Original Score, and Best Original Song. E-Film also won 5 Critics' Choice Awards, 4 Golden Globes, and 7 BAFTAs, including Best Film. Slumdog Millionaire also sparked controversy over its use of language, portrayal of Indians and Hindus, and the welfare of its child actors. Plot. Set in 2006, the film opens with a Mumbai police officer, Irfan Khan, torturing Jamal Malik, Dev Patel, a former street kid from the Juhu slums. Jamal, Dev Patel, is a contestant on the Indian version of the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Hindi, Kaun Banega Crorepati, similar to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in Vietnam, hosted by Prem Kumar, Anil Kapoor. He has won 10 million rupees, about $200,000, and has reached the final question, worth 20 million rupees, when the game runs out and will continue the next day. After being reported by Prem Kumar, the police suspect Jamal of cheating, since the other possibilities, that he is extremely knowledgeable or that he is very lucky, are unlikely. Jamal later explains that, except for the question about Bollywood superstar Amitabh Bachchan, which is too simple, he already knows the answers to most of the questions by chance, because they happened in his life, conveyed through a series of memories depicting his childhood. These include scenes of him obtaining a portrait of Bachchan, his mother's death during anti-Muslim violence, reminiscent of the 1993 anti-Muslim attacks in Mumbai's slums, and how he and his older brother Salim befriend Latika, Rubina Ali. He calls Salim and himself Athos and Porthos, and Latika is the third musketeer, a name they never learn. In Jamal's memory, the children were taken in by Maman, Ankur Vikal, while living in a garbage dump. Maman is a gangster, which they don't know when they first meet, who pretends to run an orphanage to collect street children so he can teach them how to beg for money. Salim, Ajaruddin Muhammad Ismail, is recruited into Maman's administration and is asked to bring Jamal, Ayush Mahesh Kedekar, to Maman so that he can blind him, which increases the amount of money he can beg for as a busker. Salim protects his brother, and the 3 children try to escape, but only he and Jamal manage to escape, catching up to a departing train. Latika runs after him and grabs Salim's hand, but Salim deliberately lets go, and she is left behind as the train speeds away. The brothers make a living, traveling on the roof of a train, selling goods, pickpocketing, and scamming unsuspecting tourists at the Taj Mahal by posing as tour guides. Jamal, Tanay Cheda, eventually convinces his brother to let them return to Mumbai because he wants to find Latika, much to Salim's annoyance. They eventually find her, only to discover that she, Tanay Cheda, was raised by Maman to be a dancing prostitute whose virginity would fetch a high price. The brothers rescue her, but Maman stops them, And during the struggle, Salim, Ashutosh Lobo Gajwala, pulls out a gun and shoots Maman dead. Salim then uses the fact that he killed Maman to get a job in the gang of Javed, Mahesh Mandrakar, a rival gang leader of Maman. Salim returns to the room where the three are staying and tells Jamal to leave. Jamal, knowing that his brother was here only to possess Latika, attacked him before Salim wrestled him back and pulled out his gun. Threatens to kill him. Latika intervenes and tells Jamal to go, sacrificing herself to keep him safe. With Maman's men searching for him, Salim and Latika flee to another location, leaving Jamal to fend for himself. Years later, Jamal lands a job as a T-boy at a call center. When he is asked to replace a coworker for a few minutes, he searches for Salim and Latika on the phone's database and contacts Salim, Madhur Mittal, who is now a powerful figure in Javed's organization. Jamal confronts a remorseful Salim in a rage. He asks Salim where Latika is. Salim, angry and confused that his younger brother still cares for the girl, replies that she is far away. Salim invites Jamal to live with him. Jamal then secretly follows Salim to Javed's house, where he sees Latika, Freda Pinto, who sees him too. He manages to break in, first posing as a cook and then as a dishwasher. Jamal and Latika have an emotional reunion, but the elation quickly turns to disappointment after Jamal discovers that Latika is married to Javed. Jamal convinces Latika to run away with him. She refuses and asks him to forget her and leave immediately, but Jamal affirms his love for her and promises to wait for her every day at 5 p.m. at Mumbai's largest railway station, Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, CST, until she arrives. One day, while Jamal is waiting there, Latika comes to see him, but she is caught by Salim and Javed's men. Javed slashes her face as Salim drives away, leaving an angry Jamal with a crowd of onlookers. Jamal lost contact with Latika again when Javed moved to another house in the suburbs of Mumbai. To find Latika, Jamal tried appearing on a popular television game show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, knowing she would be watching. He made it to the final question, despite the host's hostility in feeding Jamal the wrong answer during a break. At the end of the show, Jamal was one question away from winning 20 million rupees, about $400,000. But the host called the police to take him to the station, where he was tortured into revealing how he, a slum dog, could know the answers to so many questions. After Jamal tells the police inspector the whole story, explaining how his life experiences coincidentally helped him answer each question, the inspector calls Jamal's explanation bizarrely plausible and, knowing that he wasn't in it for the money, allows him back on the show to compete in the final question. At Javed's headquarters, Latika watches a news report about Jamal's miraculous performance on the show. Salim gives Latika his phone and car keys. He urges her to run away and forgive him for what he did. The final question asks what the name of the third musketeer in the story, The Three Musketeers, is. When Jamal uses the call a friend help to call Salim, Latika answers the phone just in time, and they are connected again. She also does not know the answer to the final question, but tells Jamal that she is safe and that I am yours in Hindi, without subtitles, before the 30 seconds are up. Jamal correctly guesses the answer, Aramis, to the question about the musketeer the children have never heard of, and wins the highest amount of money. At the same time, Salim is discovered to have helped Latika escape and allowed himself to be shot in a bathtub full of money after killing Javed. Salim's last words are, God is great. Later that night, Jamal and Latika meet again at the train station and they share a kiss. The scene then gives the correct answer to the question at the beginning of the film as D, it was decided, implying that it was fate. In the film's final credits, in a scene reminiscent of many a Bollywood musical, Jamal and Latika, along with many others and their teenage characters, dance in the CST train station to the song Jai Ho, a title that epitomizes victory. Casting Dev Patel as the protagonist, Jamal Malik, a Muslim Indian boy in the Bombay/Mumbai slums. British TV series Skins, Ayush Mahesh Kedekar as the original Jamal Tanai Cheda, as the teenage Jamal Freda Pinto, as Latika, the girl Jamal falls in love with. Pinto is a model and had never acted before. Explaining the unique shawl she wore in the film, designer Sutirat Ann Larlarb said, "I wanted to create a finale to the whole film, to make a connection between the yellow dress she wore as a child and her final look."